So today is one of those moments where I'm really amazed by the time that we are living in. So just the other day, I was looking at this lady over here. Where is she? I was looking at Go, and she made this video which really caught my attention. My 7 AI agents run a board meeting now, and she actually gave a link to her blog, so I actually went and checked it out. Now, the reason why this really caught my attention is because those of you who are part of my community, you know that I've been a fan of using the AI coach for a long time, and I've been a big believer that AIs should challenge us in a good way. AIs should actually make us become smarter, become more. And so I don't really agree with the direction that most AI companies are taking their AI, which is to make them sycophantic, make them be people pleasers and stuff like that. It's good for the bottom line, but I think that the smart people really knows that it is a dangerous place to be in. So the reason why Goda's video like caught my attention is because there was the critic that she put into her thing. And every single one of this, the idea is that every single one of the AIs would actually sort of give perspective from different angles. So like the CEO will give like 3 different strategies. The COO is gonna come up with a different perspective. The CFO is gonna come up from a different perspective. So from there, then there's like a roundup at the end of the video, or rather at the end of the board meeting that is done by the AI agents. There is like a roundup by a character known as the orchestrator, who basically synthesized the entire thing. And I thought that was like really fascinating. So I went and copied everything. So I went to her blog. I copied the entire blog, and I literally just gave everything to my Claude Code. This is, by the way, my new Claude Code, and it actually created this whole thing for me. So like I had like because as you guys know, I've been building this wrapper around Claude Code CLI. So it is perfectly safe. Please don't keep telling me that it's not safe. Okay, I've done my research already. So I did this whole thing, and I wanted to know, like, should I sell it? Should I give it away for free? And if I were to sell it, how much should I charge? Should I be doing subscription or one time install a VPS, or do it locally for clients only? And if it is local, then how do we actually adapt to Windows and /iOS? What about IP protection? And what came out was a very interesting conversation. So I point out one problem over here. And in the past, when I was using the AI coach, I just have to like sit down there. And the AI coach is great at pulling answers out of me. If I were to have any sort of limiting belief, then it will call me out on it. I love that. But sometimes we don't need a coach, right? We need consultants. We need people to tell us exactly what to do. Because we are just very busy and we need to put our cognitive attention somewhere else. So we actually have this whole thing over here, right? And the CTO says, okay, let me frame the constraints the rest of the board needs to work with. These are the constraints: delivery, platform, IP exposure. And I thought about something else, and I said, okay, additional info building installer that will make this frictionless. And so the critic, oh, good. That's a good context as well. Let me address the problems. Here's a privacy concern, the IP protection, legal protection, value in the update, etc., etc. Content strategy chipped in, CFO chipped in, COO chipped in. So it's absolutely amazing. And at the end of it, right, they came up with the synthesis, which is the orchestrator came up with the synthesis of it. And this, like, by the way, while I was doing this, I haven't even gone through Goda's materials. I haven't joined her Skool. I haven't gone through her repo. This was built purely by copying her blog and just giving it to Claude Code and ask it to rebuild stuff for me. We had a lot of wrestling, but after the wrestling, this was the product. So it was really good to serve as a proof of concept. So at the end, it just said, okay, here is like basically 3 options: option A, option D, option C. Which one do you like the most? And I can instantly see within the span of just 5 minutes, I get the clarity that I needed. So this is really interesting. By the way, I'm creating zombie profile pictures for my agents right now using Neo. So the reason why is because nobody wants to be a corporate zombie, right? Since nobody wants to be a corporate zombie and I need corporate zombies, I'm going to make my own corporate zombies in the form of AI. So yeah, this is what a time to be living in, where uh, even though we have such a skill difference, right? Like Goda, she has been building custom AI agents for people for 2 years. I've been building custom AI agents for only 2 months. So it's kind of sometimes kind of hard to wrap my head around. But I'm really excited about this. And the reason why I'm so excited about it is because there's a lot of tools out there nowadays, especially in the agentic world. Uh, as an example, OpenClaw right now, we do just only like past the hype, but there's still a lot of trending news about around OpenClaw. But OpenClaw is very powerful, but at the same time, it's also not so easy to use, isn't it? A lot of people who tried OpenClaw had issues with basically installing it. And on top of installing it, you have to be wrestling with the idea of having to buy a $600 mini Mac, keeping your computer on 24/7, and if not, then you have to put it through VPS, the same way I do mine. But the way I tried it, when I do put it through my VPS, the connection drop is pretty real. So the other alternative that I really wanted to do was basically use Claude Code. And by the way, everything over here that you just see, everything over here, this was entirely built via Claude Code. It's a very powerful tool, but it is the Claude Code inside the CLI is totally not the same with the Claude Code in the desktop app. The one in the desktop app comes prepackaged, like there is no room for personalization or customization. Whereas the one is in CLI comes with a lot of tools for customization. As an example, one of the things that really bothers me is when you're using Claude Code, right? They keep asking you for permission to read files if you put it on plan mode. If you don't put it on plan mode, it will not ask for permission to read files. It will also not ask permission for anything else. So by the time you realize it, he'll go and destroy a bunch of things. It happened to me before. So at the same time, there's also like quality stuff like coding workflow, sending auditors immediately after things are done being coded. So basically, there is like a consumer facing market, which is meant to be simple, that the developers are serving. They give you something which is pre-packaged, that is simple, that's easy to use. But at the same time, the ones that are truly powerful are not simple to use. Like you have to launch a terminal, and this is the same whether you're using OpenClaw or Claude Code. So I thought to myself, okay, like what if I come up with a wrapper, like the one you saw just now, that makes it very easy. That is one click install, and that is, like all of the settings come pre-configured. All of the guardrails that I needed for myself is already preloaded, and do in such a way that it caters to specifically solopreneurs and solo founders like myself. So that's what I did, and this is basically what I built all through Cloud Code. Goda has spent 2 years. I've spent 2 months working on this, and even then, I'm able to do something as crazy and as cool as this. Look, these are the mind map of all of my agents working. They are all inactive right now. By the way, like on the left side, you can see like this agent is in charge of engineering. This is in charge of the building up the boardroom. Innovation is in charge of something else. Building out the installer, I might add. I'm gonna come up with a video tomorrow to show you guys how the installer works. It's so easy. It takes you like you don't ever have to touch terminal in order to use Claude Code after that. So I got like my freelancer agents and stuff like that. So I have this whole page over here. Can you guys imagine like, this is basically my cron job page. So there's like so many things that we can do nowadays. And I think that it is very important for us to not just learn, but actually be empowered, which is part of the reason why I'm building this harness. So that is basically what I want to share for today. Like if you haven't been like, again, this whole channel of mine, I'm using it as a blog. I'm documenting my own journey to building my own startup. So my background is just a coach initially, but eventually I want to take on this path to being a solo founder. And who knows? I think there's a very real possibility to get to 1M, 1B, one man, $1 billion business. So this is basically my journey, and I'm really I welcome you guys to follow along as I continue my public documentation of everything that I'm up to. If you are interested in whatever I just built, because it is very useful. Like I think that having 4 or 5 parallel windows working together without having to go through the tediousness of using a terminal is actually quite amazing. So if you think like me and you want to have a copy of this, let me know. I'm actually gonna launch a service where I install these things for you guys and install and manage it for you, so you don't actually have to worry about a terminal, and you don't have to go and think about VPS and maintaining a server and all that stuff, where I work it out for you. So if you're interested, just leave a comment and let me know. And that's all. Tomorrow I'm gonna be back to demonstrate to you guys like what I built with this one, which is the one-click installer. I tried it just now and it was like mind-blowing because it's so easy to use as compared to the original CLI version. Can't wait to show that to you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.